You keep saying you want more money, more freedom, a different life. But if someone quietly watched you for a week, no captions, no explanations, just your raw routine, would they see real desire or just wishful thinking dressed up as ambition? This is the part nobody likes to hear. Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich makes a brutal distinction. Most people don't truly desire wealth or transformation. They're just interested, curious, flirting with the idea, comfortable enough to dream, but not decided enough to pay the price. Look at your own days. How many times have you said you're going to change right after a bad month, and then negotiated with yourself the moment it got uncomfortable? How often do your plans die in the space between "I'll start" and "I'll start when things calm down"? You call it timing, circumstances, responsibility. But if we stripped the labels away, what would we find? A burning desire or a carefully managed distance from the risk of failing? If you truly craved prosperity, would you keep postponing the hard decisions? Would you keep letting other people's opinions weigh more than your own vision? Would you keep shrinking your goals so they don't scare anyone, including you? Hill says real desire is not a polite preference. It's not "I'd like to." It's "I must." It's not loud. It's not dramatic. But it's absolutely decided. Turns excuses into noise. So here's the uncomfortable question this video will keep asking you. Underneath every scene, every example, every story, if you really wanted a different life, why are you still living as if the mental, emotional, and disciplinary price is too high? If this already pinches a little, stay. Because feeling exposed is the first sign that your illusion is cracking, and that's where change actually begins. Before we go deeper, ask yourself honestly, are you desiring or just daydreaming? If this is hitting something true in you, pause for a second. Like the video so you don't accidentally scroll past this conversation with yourself. And if you're ready to stop flirting with your future and start committing to it, subscribe. The next minutes are not about motivation. They're about a decision you've been avoiding for years. Play this back in your mind. You wake up already atrasado. You check your phone, scroll a little, promise yourself you'll start the day right tomorrow. On the way to work, you think asterisk, I need more money. I need more freedom. I deserve a better life. Asterisk. But if I could pause your day right there and look not at what you say, but at what você faz, what would I actually find? Would I see someone burning with desire? Or someone just daydreaming with more sophistication? Napoleon Hill was brutal about this in Think and Grow Rich. Most people don't truly desire wealth. They just lightly fantasize about it between one distraction and the next. And that difference between wanting and truly desiring shows up in the tiny, unglamorous corners of your routine. You say you want to change careers, but you don't send the email. You say you want to emprender, but you won't even block 30 minutes to study. You say you're tired of your reality, but every decisive choice is odiado 8 as koisas esse akelmarim. Observe your own pattern. How many times today did you negotiate with yourself? How many times did you know what to do and simply didn't? This isn't about blaming you. It's about clarity. Because in quanto você acreditar that wanting is enough, you'll keep calling wishful thinking by the name of ambition. A genuine, burning desire doesn't express itself only in phrases bonitas. It shows up as decisions that stop being emperadas para mania, standards you refuse to negotiate, even when no one's watching. Small, concrete actions taken mesmo cansado, mesmo com medo, mesmo sem aplauso. If you're honest, where are you today? In real desire or in comfortable wishing? Pause for a second and answer that to yourself. If this reflection is already incomodando you in a good way, that's a sign you're ready for something deeper. Tap the like so this message reaches more people como você. Tell me in the comments, what's one area where you've been just wishing instead of truly deciding? And if you want to keep dismantling these self-illusions, subscribe and stay here. We're just at the beginning. You say you want change. But let's be honest for a second. How does your desire behave between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m.? Because that's where the truth hides. Not in your dreams, but in your Tuesday. You wake up tired. You pick up your phone before you pick up your purpose. You scroll, you compare, you feel a small sting of "I should be further ahead." Then you get out of bed and walk right back into the exact life you say you want to escape. Your desire disappears the moment it meets the first inconvenience. You hate your job, but you stay. You want to start a project, but you research for months and call that preparation. You say you'll change your finances, but every weekend there's a "just this once" that quietly kills your plan. This is what Napoleon Hill was warning about. Not lack of intelligence, not lack of opportunity, lack of real desire. You think you want prosperity, but watch what happens when the price shows up. The price of saying no instead of "just this time." The price of waking up 1 hour earlier with no applause. The price of being misunderstood by people who are comfortable where you are. The moment those prices appear, your mind negotiates. Maybe next month. Now's not the best time. At my age, is it even worth it? That's not burning desire. That's a wish wearing a suit. You don't fail because you're incapable. You fail because you keep treating your decisions like they're optional. You leave the back door open. If it gets hard, I can always go back. True desire locks the back door. Think about your own life. Where are you still leaving an exit? Where have you said, "I want this," but kept all your excuses fully charged and ready? If this is hitting a nerve, stay with it. Don't run to the next video just to numb this discomfort. This is the exact feeling that precedes real change. Hit like if you recognize yourself here, and tell me in the comments. What's one area where you've been pretending to decide, but secretly staying on the fence? And if you're ready to stop flirting with your future and actually commit to it, subscribe. The next parts of this series are going to challenge every optional you've been hiding behind. Pause for a second and look at your own track record. Not the vision board. Not the notes app with plans. What have you actually followed through on, no matter what Hill would tell you? That tiny list reveals your real desires, not the ones you like to talk about. You say you want to start a business, change careers, get out of debt, transform your body. But when discomfort shows up, criticism, fatigue, doubt, watch what happens. You negotiate. "I'll start next month. I need to be more prepared first. This week was crazy. I'll get back on track." You don't abandon the dream. That would be honest. You keep it alive just enough to feel hopeful, but not enough to be responsible for it. And that's the fracture Hill exposes. You want the results, but you're not yet decided to pay the price. Real desire behaves differently. When you're truly decided, you stop making endless try statements and start making clear terms with yourself. "I'm doing this. Here's the deadline. Here's what I'm sacrificing. Here's what I'm no longer tolerating." You stop asking, "Will this be hard?" and start asking, "What's the next concrete step?" You stop taking every opinion personally and start measuring everything against your decision. One piercing question for you. If someone muted your words and only watched your last 30 days, would they conclude you're committed to a new life or comfortable with this one? If this is hitting a nerve, that's good. Discomfort is honest feedback. It means a part of you is tired of pretending someday is a strategy. Ask yourself, where in your life are you treating a wish as if it were a decision? Work, money, health, relationships? Name one area. Don't skip this. If this is making you rethink what you truly want, stay with this journey. Hit like so this message reaches people who also need this jolt, and tell me in the comments. What's the one goal you're finally willing to treat as non-negotiable? If you're ready to stop flirting with change and actually commit to it, subscribe, because in the next parts we're going to turn that decision into structure, discipline, and daily proof. Watch what happens on the days you decide to change. You wake up inspired. You tell yourself, from today on, it's different. New habits, new routine, new life. Then your phone lights up. A message, a notification, an email you have to answer. You tell yourself, I'll start after I deal with this. Hours pass. The feeling of decision fades. By night, you're tired, scrolling, saying, tomorrow I'll start for real. This is how most lives are lived. Not in failure, but in almost started, almost committed, almost changed. Napoleon Hill observed something harsh. A real decision is identified not by how it feels when you make it, but by how much you're willing to protect it once life starts pushing back. You say you want more money, more freedom, a different life. Then a family member criticizes your idea, and suddenly you're rethinking. A friend makes a joke, and you put it on hold. A small inconvenience appears, and you call it a sign that now is not the time. Notice the pattern. The world doesn't even need to fight you. A raised eyebrow already makes you retreat. Hill called desire the starting point of all achievement, but he never said any desire. He spoke of a burning desire, one that doesn't bargain, doesn't ask for permission, doesn't apologize for existing. Right now, you might be carrying desires that are polite. They wait in line behind everyone else's expectations. They never raise their voice. They never demand space on your calendar. They die quietly, and you call it being realistic. If this is hitting you, pause the excuses for a second. Be honest. Are you living with burning desire, or with carefully domesticated dreams that never disturb anyone? If you're still here, it means part of you is tired of almost. So let this video challenge you a bit more. If this is resonating, hit like so you don't lose this reminder later. And tell me in the comments, what is one desire you've been treating as optional that can no longer be negotiable? If you want help turning that into a real decision, subscribe and stay with me in the next blocks. We're going to turn vague wanting into something you can no longer walk away from. You felt that tension, haven't you? You say you want more, but every time life appertas you a little, your desire is the first thing you put on the shelf. Napoleon Hill observed something cruel and precise. A weak desire dies at the first obstacle. A burning desire becomes more alive when challenged. Look honestly at your own history. When was the last time you adjusted your dream to fit someone else's comfort? When did you accept later as a polite version of never? You tell yourself you're waiting for the right moment. The truth? The right moment is a costume your fear wears to look respectable. Burning desire doesn't wait for permission, applause, or perfect timing. It creates timing. It reorganizes your day, confronts your excuses, and refuses to disappear just because you're tired or someone laughed at you. You might say, I do want it. I really do. But if I could watch your next 7 days in silence, would I see someone who wants or someone who is decided? Because being decided looks very different. Decided is turning off that extra hour of distraction and using it to build something. Decided is feeling doubt and still making the phone call, sending the proposal, starting the course. Decided is hearing criticism and asking, what can I learn? Instead of, should I quit? Here's the uncomfortable part. Your life today is a mirror of what you've been truly decided about, consciously or not. If you're honest, there are areas where you've treated your future as optional, negotiable. Nice if it happens. Now, I'm not here to attack you. I'm here to invite you. Start by asking yourself one brutal question. What am I tired of pretending I want? If I'm not willing to pay the price to get it, if this is hitting a nerve, that's a sign something inside you is still alive. Save this, hit like so you don't lose it, and tell me in the comments, what goal have you been treating as optional that needs to become non-negotiable? If you want to keep going deeper into this level of honesty and growth, subscribe. We're not here to play with wishful thinking. We're here to turn it into decision. You know this already. Life will always offer you an easy way out. The moment you decide, I'm going to change my finances, my body, my career, something shows up, an unexpected bill, a family drama, a sudden wave of fatigue, a tempting distraction that lets you say, not today. I'll start when things calm down. Here's the uncomfortable part. Things are not happening to your desire. They are revealing your desire. A weak desire looks strong when nothing is testing it. You can talk for hours about your plans, fill notebooks with ideas, feel inspired watching videos like this. But desire is not measured by how you feel when you're excited. It's measured by how you act when you're tired, embarrassed, or afraid. Napoleon Hill found the same pattern again and again. The people who actually transformed their lives had one trait in common: a decision that survived inconvenience, judgment, and uncertainty. They didn't wait for support to appear. They didn't wait to feel ready. They didn't wait for the fear to disappear. They acted while afraid. They persisted while misunderstood. They moved forward while doubting themselves. Ask yourself now, honestly, how many of your goals only exist in conditions that never arrive? I'll start when I have more time. I'll invest when I earn more. I'll focus on me when my family is okay. I'll speak up when I'm more confident. Notice the structure. Your transformation is always postponed to a later, safer version of your life that never comes. That's not strategy, that's hesitation disguised as responsibility. Strong desire doesn't ignore your obligations. It reorganizes your life around what matters. It says, yes, I'm busy. Yes, I'm scared. Yes, people won't understand. And I'm moving anyway. If this is hitting something inside you, pause for a second. Acknowledge it. Don't just nod and scroll. What is one area where you've been waiting for a perfect moment that you secretly know will never arrive? Tell me in the comments, name it clearly. Sometimes writing it is the first act of real desire. And if you want to keep dismantling these invisible excuses and rebuilding your life from a place of decision, not wishful thinking, make sure you're subscribed. The next part goes even deeper into how to turn that spark you're feeling right now into commitment you can't walk away from. You keep telling yourself you'll figure it out, that things will eventually change, that when the timing is right, you'll finally commit. But notice something. Life keeps rewarding you for staying exactly where you are. Every time you avoid a hard decision, you're rewarded with relief. Every time you postpone a goal, you're rewarded with comfort. Every time you lower your standards, just this once, you're rewarded with short-term peace. And slowly, without any dramatic moment, your desire atrophies. Napoleon Hill observed that people who transform their lives do something most never do. They turn vague wishes into decisions with no backdoor. They stop asking, "Can I?" and start living as if they already have to. Look at your own behavior. How many times have you said, "This year will be different," and then protected your old habits like they were fragile antiques? How often do you say, "I don't have time," when the truth is, "I won't make time"? How many dreams did you quietly resize to avoid uncomfortable conversations with your spouse, your friends, your parents? That quiet resizing is the death of desire. Burning desire is not loud. It's consistent. It shows up in small, boring, repeatable actions that make other people think you're obsessed and make your future self deeply grateful. You don't need more hype. You need a line in the sand. Decide one thing today, one standard you will no longer negotiate, one excuse you will no longer accept from yourself, one action you will take daily, even when no one is watching and no one is clapping. If this is landing with you, pause for a second. Hit like, not for the algorithm, but as a tiny physical commitment. I'm done flirting with my potential. Now ask yourself, honestly, what is one area of your life where you've been pretending to want more, but your actions clearly say, "I'm fine staying the same"? Sit with that. Name it. Because in the next part, we're going to take that vague discomfort you feel and start turning it into a concrete, non-negotiable plan. If you're ready to stop treating your future as optional, subscribe and come with me to the next step. So here you are, with this moment of clarity. I'm done negotiating with my future. Good. But clarity without structure vera somes un pico de motivaco que desaparis. Now you need to build containers for this burning desire. Places where it can live, grow, and direct your actions. Start with this: choose one concrete goal. Not 10. Not change my life. 1. Something that matters enough that, if you actually achieved it in the next 12 months, your life would clearly be different. More income, a new career path, a paid-off debt, a specific business milestone, a specific body transformation. Something real, measurable, definable. Then, give it numbers and dates. More money becomes $X per month by date. Shape becomes lose Y pounds / gain Z muscle / run 5K by date. Business becomes first 10 high-paying clients by date. Vague wants create vague actions. Precise desires force precise behavior. Next, build a daily non-negotiable ritual tied to that goal. If it's financial, 60 minutes a day dedicated only to creating, improving, or selling something that increases your income. If it's career, 60 minutes learning, producing, or connecting directly related to your next level. If it's health, a specific workout plus a specific food rule you do not break. Don't start with what you feel you can do. Start with what the result requires, then scale down just enough to be sustainable, not comfortable. And write this somewhere you see every day. If I fail at this, it will not be because life said no. It will be because I accepted my own excuses as truth. That sentence will sting on the days you don't feel like it, which is exactly why you need it. If this is hitting you, pause and like this video so you remember to come back to it later. Let me ask you, what is the one goal you're willing to treat as non-negotiable for the next 12 months? Put it into words. Be specific. And if you want help turning that one decision into daily structure and discipline, subscribe. The next videos are about exactly that, how to live in a way that your future stops being optional. And here's the paradox you need to face. The moment you finally decide, truly decide, life will start testing you harder than before. Not because the universe is cruel, but because any desire that can be destroyed by inconvenience, criticism, or delay was never strong enough to manifest in the first place. So don't be surprised when, after you commit, things get worse for a while. You'll feel more resistance. You'll notice more fear. You'll hear louder opinions from people who have settled. That's not a sign to stop. That's the proof you're no longer sleepwalking. Burning desire doesn't mean you never doubt. It means that even when doubt screams, your decision whispers louder. Asterisk, I'm not going back. Asterisk, this is where you stop negotiating with yourself. No more, I'll try to wake up earlier. I'll see if I can stick to the plan. I'll do my best. Those are phrases of someone who still wants an exit. A person with burning desire speaks differently. I will wake up earlier. If I fail today, I correct it tomorrow. I will stick to the plan. If it breaks, I rebuild it stronger. I will do what is required, not just what is comfortable. Your language changes because your identity is changing. You're no longer asking, can I do this? You're asking, who do I need to become so this result is inevitable? Notice the difference? If this is connecting with you, it's not by accident. It's because some part of you is tired of the half commitments, the almost decisions, the next Monday I start. So let me ask you directly, where in your life will you stop wishing and finally close the door behind you? Think of one area, just one, where you're willing to remove the escape routes and act as if failure is not a signal to quit, but a lesson to absorb. If this is pressing the right buttons in you, hit like so this message reaches more people who need it. Share in the comments. What's the decision you've been postponing that you're now ready to make non-negotiable? And if you want to keep walking this path of real, uncomfortable growth, not just feel-good inspiration, subscribe and stay with me for what comes next. Now here's the uncomfortable part. If you start treating desire as a non-negotiable, your environment will feel threatened. Not because they're evil, because your change exposes their lack of it. When you stop just wishing and begin deciding, you'll notice subtle resistance. Wow, you're really taking this seriously, huh? Relax, you're obsessed. Money isn't everything, you know? Listen carefully. That's not feedback about your path. That's feedback about their comfort zone. A weak desire folds at the first raised eyebrow. A burning desire hears the same sentence and thinks, ah, I must be leaving the average. You cannot build an uncommon life while clinging to the approval of common behavior. At some point, you will have to choose. Do you want to feel understood by everyone, or aligned with the future you say you want? Because often you won't get both. This is where people quietly downgrade their dreams. Not because they're lazy, but because they're lonely. They start shrinking their language. I mean, it's just an idea. It's nothing serious. We'll see what happens. Every time you do that, you send a clear signal to your mind. This isn't that important. It's optional. And your mind responds accordingly. No urgency, no focus, no energy. So try something different. Instead of defending your dream less, raise the standard of the people who get access to it. Surround yourself, books, videos, mentors, even strangers online, with those who treat desire as sacred, not ridiculous. Those who don't laugh when you say, I'm not available for the life I used to tolerate. If this is landing, if it's poking that place in you that's tired of negotiating with your own potential, stay with it. Ask yourself honestly, who in my life reinforces my desire, and who rewards my excuses? And what would change if, for the next 12 months, I chose my future more often than I chose my comfort? If this video is helping you see yourself more clearly, hit like so it reaches more people stuck in the same loop. And if you're ready to stop flirting with your own potential and keep going deeper into this work, subscribe and stay close. The next step is where the real separation begins. So now you're here at the end of this video, but actually at the beginning of something much more real. A decision you can no longer tercerizer to life, to time, to circumstances. You've seen the difference. Wanting is light, polite, socially acceptable. Desire, the kind that Hill wrote about, is heavy. It leaves fingerprints in your calendar, in your bank account, in your energy at the end of the day. Look honestly at yourself, without drama and without self-pity. If someone followed you for 7 days in silence, just observing, would they see a person who wants more or a person who has decided? Because in the end, the universe doesn't respond to wishes. It responds to decisions repeated, protected, and honored, even when nobody is watching. Your life so far has been the result of a hierarchy of desires. Your desire for comfort versus your desire for growth. Your desire to be liked versus your desire to be free. Your desire to avoid mistakes versus your desire to build something bigger than your fear. And every day, calmly, without announcement, you've been voting. With your routine, with your excuses, with what you defend and what you postpone. The good news is brutal and simple. You can start voting differently today. Not with a grand gesture, but with one concrete move that proves to you that you're done flirting with your future. Maybe it's finally committing to a number in your savings. Maybe it's blocking non-negotiable hours for your project. Maybe it's having that uncomfortable conversation to stop living below your own standards. Pick one. Just one. Write it. Put a time. Pay the price. If this video stirred something in you, even discomfort, that's a signal. Let it stay. Don't anesthetize it with another scroll. Ask yourself before you close this tab, where in my life have I been wishing and calling it desire? If this hit home, save this video and like it so YouTube knows it matters. And if you want to keep walking this path without illusions, but with clarity and courage, subscribe and stay close. From here on, your future is not a lottery ticket. It's a decision you renew day after day until your results have no choice but to surrender.